request Dr. J. Srinivas, Joint Secretary.
Good evening to all of you, and I will take just a few minutes. Respected Naveen Mittal Garu, Commissioner, Collegiate Education, a proactive officer for higher education as well as technical education in Government of Telangana, Registrar Professor Yadav Garu, JNTU, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellor of Historic Osmania University, Professor Ramchandram Garu. We just heard about his presentation on perception analysis about accreditation. So for the last 2 days, this Institute of Academic Excellence, I know their office bearers, Professor Baru and Dr. Venkateshwarlu and Madam and others are here. One thing must be clear to all of us in the last 2 days or even much before that. Now, whether we like it or not, accreditation and ratings and rankings will stay in our higher education. So we have no other go to adapt to this situation. That is the fact we have to live with. 1994 is a very important year in our academic system in this country. NAC as well as NBA came into existence. You know that NAC does the institutional accreditation, whereas NBA does a departmental accreditation in technical education. Then for the last 3 years, this NIRF is also there. My colleague from NAC, Dr. Madhukar, is also there. When we were working in the NAC long before, we have to go around the country and canvas. He was also talking about, you go for accreditation, these are the benefit of accreditation, you will get a better identity at national or global level, and a lot of other things we used to say, but still there was a reluctance. Now from voluntary to mandatory we have moved. That is one change that has happened. That's why I was telling, whether you like it or not, you have to undergo accreditation. And then those days it was a qualitative assessment, a subjective assessment, but now it is a totally digital assessment, quantitative. So everything is made to be measured in education system today, whether we like it or not. Normally, I also have a personal feeling, classroom teaching learning process cannot be measured in terms of quality digitally, I mean to say, to some extent. But now it is measurable. NAC's 70% process is digital and 30% is peer team visit based. And another thing is that medical education, dental education, and any form of education, distance education, all these education sectors are also now likely to go under accreditation in next 1 or 2 years. So accreditation and rankings, ratings will be pervasive. So these are creating huge impact on our education system. Earlier we have only regulatory bodies like university, we have to get affiliation and recognition, then UGC for national level funding and recognition. So there you have to comply with certain minimum standards. For example, a university department is expected to have 1 professor, 2 assistant professors, 4 associate professors to be recognized by a UGC department in a university. But now these regulatory bodies are framing only minimum standards, whether it is UGC or AICT. 1:21 is the teaching ratio in AICT now. But beyond these minimum norms, how institution can maximize its quality in terms of all the aspects is today's perspective before the institutions. So we have to look into these aspects, and then the functioning of the institutions is also changing. Like Naveen Mittal has said, particularly the role of teachers is tremendously changing today. Whether you like it or not, teachers have to play a bigger role as a facilitators, because there are multiple sources of learning. Already he has also said 20% of your academic credits can be acquired through online courses. MOOCs is there through Swayam platform brought by UGC. So a lot of changes are coming, but you can be the MOOCs writer. There is an opportunity also for teacher in this changing climate. So teacher is today a global profession, and you have to adapt to this changing environment, and institutions also have to come out of these geographical restrictions. Earlier, there is a huge problem with regard to access to our higher education, so we have certain geographical restrictions. But now, wherever you are, you have to operate at a global scale, at least taking the global quality standards and perceptives. So these are very much required for your survival also. And technology is going to be a major player in our higher education, in our future. So you have to adapt to these challenges, and then only the institutional survival is at stake. Earlier, institutions are limited. Now there is a glut situation in all academic disciplines. I believe except MBBS, today, there is no problem for admission in any academic discipline in this country. But getting admission in an institution in which you desire is very difficult. Two perspectives are taking place, particularly if you take engineering education. I heard Naveen Mittalji also speaking in other fora also, that a majority of the seats are vacant, but at the same time, simultaneously, some well-performing institutions have a huge demand. So this diversity is also coming up. So unless we reorient ourselves, unless we change our mindset and adjust to these new circumstances, the survival is at stake. Situation is very competitive. Otherwise, the survival of the institutions as well as the teachers, both are at stake, what I feel. So we have to reorient ourselves in those perspectives and survival through these ranks, ratings, at least for some time, at least. Maybe the situation may continue at least in coming 1 decade or so. And then now everything is linked to these accreditation ratings. Your autonomy, your funding, and your other recognitions, awards, all are interlinked with these performance indicators. So we have to sensibly accept these challenges and adapt to these circumstances. I hope this kind of workshops will enlighten the people and have enlightened or caused adequate awareness for the last 2 days. And I hope this organization continue conduct this kind of useful workshops, taking help of JNTU and others. Registrar Yadagar is there. He has proactively supported all your requirements. So the participants, I believe, have necessary benefit out of this workshop. And I hope this will help you to adequately prepare yourself to be a NAC coordinator or NBA coordinator or IQAC coordinator in your own institution, and help your institution to achieve whatever best possible in the coming accreditation or ratings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.